The massive Imperial scout ship Star Seeker emerged from hyperspace near Jupiter's orbit, its polished hull gleaming under the distant sunlight. Captain Mark Thompson of Earth's Deep Space Monitor Station watched the unknown vessel's approach on his holographic display. His fingers tapped steadily on the console while the AI analyzed the ship's composition. "Sir, the vessel is 3 times larger than our largest spacecraft," reported Lisa, his second in command. "They're using an unknown propulsion system." Thompson nodded, his gray eyes fixed on the screen. Earth had prepared for this moment for decades, while the rest of the world went about their daily lives. Thinking humanity was alone in the universe, secret organizations had monitored alien civilizations from afar. The Imperial ship moved closer, its engines pulsing with purple energy. Inside the vessel, Commander Robert of the Galactic Empire stood proud, his decorated uniform reflecting his high rank. "Another primitive world to add to our glorious empire," he announced to his crew. "Begin the standard first contact protocol." But Earth was far from primitive. Hidden satellites, quantum sensors, and automated defense platforms tracked the alien vessel's every move. In underground bunkers across the planet, military personnel monitored the situation. The Imperial ship broadcast its message in multiple frequencies. "Greetings, people of Earth. We come representing the mighty Galactic Empire, bringing civilization and progress to developing worlds. Prepare for our diplomatic landing." In the Global Defense Headquarters beneath the Pacific Ocean, General James watched the transmission with a grim smile. "They always think they're superior," he muttered. "Activate Defense Pattern Alpha." Commander Robert grew impatient when Earth didn't respond immediately. Typical primitive behavior. They're probably still trying to decode our message. "Prepare the landing shuttles." As 3 smaller ships detached from the Starseeker, Earth's hidden defenses came to life. Quantum field generators, disguised as regular satellites, created an invisible barrier around the planet. The Imperial shuttles hit the barrier with a flash of blue light. Their engines died instantly, leaving them floating helplessly in space. Commander Robert's face turned pale as his ship's systems began failing one by one. "Impossible," he shouted. "They're just a pre-space civilization." Our scans showed no advanced technology. A new message played across their screens, this time from Earth. "Imperial vessel Starseeker, you have entered restricted space without permission. Your systems have been temporarily disabled. Stand down and prepare to be boarded." Small, sleek Earth ships emerged from hidden orbital stations. Their design was unlike anything the Empire had ever seen. Smooth, black vessels that seemed to bend light around them. Commander Robert watched in horror as his mighty ship was surrounded. His weapons were useless, his engines dead. The Empire's standard first contact protocol had never failed before. Earth's boarding teams, led by Captain Anna White, entered the Imperial ship through quantum tunnels, bypassing all security. The Imperial crew stood no chance against Earth's advanced stun weapons. Within hours, the entire Imperial crew was detained, their ship secured. In the interrogation room aboard Earth's orbital station, Commander Robert faced Captain White. "How?" he demanded. "Our scans showed primitive technology, fossil fuels, internal combustion engines." Anna smiled. "That's exactly what we wanted you to see. Earth has been watching the Empire for years. We chose isolation, developed our technology in secret. Your Empire's habit of civilizing other worlds convinced us to stay hidden." Thompson watched from the station as Earth's ships towed the Imperial vessel to a secure facility near Mars. "Send the message to all commands," he ordered. "First contact protocol successfully completed. Earth remains secure." In the following days, Earth's leaders prepared their response to this incursion. The Empire had unknowingly awakened a sleeping giant, one that had deliberately hidden its true power. As Commander Robert sat in his cell, he realized his empire had made a terrible mistake. The age of Earth's isolation was ending, but not how the Empire had planned. Instead of finding a primitive world to conquer, they had discovered a technologically superior civilization that had chosen to stay hidden. Now that civilization was about to make its presence known to the galaxy, on its own terms. General James prepared the official response to the Empire. Earth was not interested in joining their civilization. In fact, Earth was declaring the entire solar system off-limits to Imperial ships. The Empire would soon learn that some worlds were better left alone. In the high-security detention facility on Mars, Commander Robert stared through the energy field that served as his cell wall. The red Martian landscape stretched endlessly before him, dotted with Earth's advanced research facilities that had remained hidden from the Empire's eyes for decades. Inside the interrogation chamber, General James sat across from the Imperial navigator Tom, who had been more cooperative than his commander. "Tell me more about the Empire's expansion protocols," the general asked, sliding a cup of water across the table. "The Empire has absorbed 37 civilizations in the last century alone," Tom explained, his hands shaking slightly. "We find developing worlds, demonstrate our power, and offer them a choice: join or face isolation from galactic trade routes." General James leaned back, processing this information. "And those who refuse?" Tom's silence spoke volumes. The general shared a knowing look with Captain White, who stood in the corner recording the conversation. Meanwhile, in Earth's underground Global Council chamber, representatives from all nations debated their next move. The room hummed with tension as holographic displays showed the captured Imperial vessel being studied by Earth's scientists. "We can't stay hidden anymore," announced Council Leader David. "The Empire knows we're here. The question is, how do we respond?" Dr. Smith, Earth's leading genotechnologist, stepped forward. "Their technology is impressive, but predictable. They rely heavily on plasma-based systems. Our quantum tech is centuries ahead of anything they have." "Then we show them exactly what they're dealing with," suggested Military Commander Helen. She pulled up a hologram of Earth's defense network, showing thousands of hidden satellites and bases throughout the solar system. The Council agreed. It was time to send a message the Empire wouldn't forget. Back in the Mars facility, Commander Robert received visitors. Council Leader David and General James entered his cell area, accompanied by guards wielding advanced quantum rifles. "We've reviewed your ship's databanks," David stated calmly. "Your Empire's history of peaceful integration is quite interesting, especially what happens to worlds that initially refuse membership." Robert's face remained neutral, but his eyes betrayed his unease. Earth wasn't supposed to be able to access their encrypted databases. "We have a message for your Empire," General James continued. "Earth is not interested in joining your civilization. In fact, we're declaring this entire solar system off-limits to Imperial vessels." Robert laughed, though it sounded hollow. "The Empire controls thousands of worlds. You can't possibly think." His words cut off as David activated a holographic display. It showed Earth ships, completely invisible to Imperial sensors, stationed near vital Empire worlds. Ships that had been there for years, studying, watching, gathering intelligence. "We've been preparing for this moment for generations," David explained. "While your Empire expanded through force, we expanded through stealth. We know everything about you. You know nothing about us." The next day, Earth began its demonstration. The captured Imperial crew was loaded onto their repaired vessel. Before their release, they were shown just a fraction of Earth's true capabilities. They watched as quantum fields manipulated gravity itself, as Earth ships appeared and disappeared at will, and as entire facilities phased between dimensions. Each demonstration was carefully chosen to convey one message. Earth was not to be trifled with. As the Imperial ship prepared to depart, Captain White delivered the final warning. "Your Empire built its power on the assumption that younger civilizations are weaker. Today, that assumption ends. Earth declares itself and its solar system off-limits to the Galactic Empire. Any unauthorized entry will be considered an act of war." The Imperial ship lifted off, its crew silent and shaken. As they reached the edge of the solar system, they received one last transmission, a data package containing proof of Earth's hidden fleet, along with technical demonstrations that would make even the Empire's best scientists question everything they knew. Commander Roberts stood on his bridge, watching Earth's sun fade into the distance. His mission to add another world to the Empire had failed spectacularly. Instead, he was returning with news that would shake the Empire to its core. They had finally found a civilization that didn't fear them. In fact, for the first time in Imperial history, they had found a civilization that they needed to fear. Back on Earth, General James watched the Imperial ship disappear into hyperspace. And now, he said quietly, we wait for their response. The Imperial Palace on Capital World buzzed with activity as Commander Robert delivered his report. Emperor William sat on his crystalline throne, his face darkening with each word. Around him, his advisors whispered nervously among themselves. Impossible, the Emperor finally declared, standing up. No civilization could have hidden such advancement from us. Our sensors scan every corner of the galaxy. Admiral Peter, the Empire's most decorated fleet commander, stepped forward. My Emperor, I've reviewed the data package Earth provided. Their technology operates on principles we've never encountered. They don't just hide. They show us exactly what they want us to see. In the war room nearby, Imperial scientists studied recordings from the Star Seekers' encounter. They watched again and again as Earth's defenses effortlessly disabled their ships. Each viewing revealed new, disturbing details about Earth's capabilities. Send the diplomatic fleet, Emperor William commanded. Show them the true might of the Empire. No single system can stand against our combined strength. Within days, 50 Imperial warships emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. Admiral Peter stood on the bridge of the flagship, Empire's Glory, confident that this show of force would bring Earth to its knees. But Earth was ready. Deep within Jupiter's atmosphere, hidden quantum sensors detected the fleet's arrival. General James received the alert in his command center beneath Earth's Pacific Ocean. Right on schedule, he murmured. Let's show them what they're really dealing with. The Imperial fleet moved forward, their weapons charged. Suddenly, their sensors detected movement around every planet in the solar system. Hidden bases emerged from beneath the surfaces of Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Massive structures rose from beneath the clouds of gas giants. Admiral Peter watched in astonishment as Earth's defense network revealed itself. Thousands of satellites, previously invisible, appeared in perfect formation. Space itself seemed to ripple as quantum fields activated around the entire solar system. Sir, his sensor officer called out, voice shaking, we're detecting energy readings from Earth's installations that exceed our entire fleet's combined output. A transmission reached the Imperial fleet. On the screen appeared General James, looking calm and collected. Imperial fleet, you were warned. This solar system is off limits. What you see around you is less than 1% of our defensive capability. Would you like a demonstration of the rest? Before Admiral Peter could respond, Earth acted. In perfect synchronization, quantum fields activated around each Imperial ship. The mighty vessels found themselves frozen in space, their advanced engines completely powerless. Impossible. Admiral Peter shouted. Our shields are the strongest in the galaxy. We're the strongest, General James corrected. You're still thinking in terms of conventional technology. We passed that stage centuries ago. To drive the point home, Earth's defense systems created a spatial anomaly, a controlled demonstration that briefly phased the entire Imperial fleet into another dimension before returning it. The message was clear. Earth could make the fleet disappear permanently if they chose. In the Imperial Palace, Emperor William watched the live feed with growing horror. Reports flooded in from across the Empire. Earth ships had been detected near every major Imperial world, having stayed hidden for years. Their surveillance network was far more extensive than anyone had imagined. Admiral Peter, his confidence shattered, faced a decision. The Empire had never retreated before, but they'd never faced anything like this. "We're releasing your ships now," General James announced. "Return to your empire. Tell them what you've seen here. Earth has chosen isolation not out of weakness, but because we saw how the Empire treats its allies. We have no interest in conquest or domination. We simply wish to be left alone." As the Imperial fleet retreated, emergency councils convened across the Empire. For the first time in its history, the Empire faced a power it couldn't subjugate or impress. Worse, this power had been watching them for years, gathering intelligence, analyzing their weaknesses. Back on Earth, General James watched the fleet's departure. "They'll be back," he said to his staff. "The Empire won't accept this easily. But next time, they'll come to talk, not fight." In the depths of space, Admiral Peter's fleet limped home, carrying with them the knowledge that the galaxy was a much more mysterious place than the Empire had ever imagined. Inside the Imperial archives on Capital World, Chief Scientist Alex pored over centuries of astronomical data. Something wasn't adding up. According to the records, Earth's solar system had been surveyed multiple times over the past 1,000 years, always showing signs of a developing civilization. "Look at this," he said to his research team, pointing to a series of images. 800 years ago, we saw smoke from their factories. 300 years ago, primitive satellites. 100 years ago, basic space stations. It was all false, a carefully constructed illusion. In the Imperial Senate chamber, Admiral Peter presented his findings to the gathered representatives of 1,000 worlds. The massive hall fell silent as he played recordings from the fleet's encounter with Earth's defenses. "Their quantum technology isn't just advanced," he explained, his voice echoing through the chamber. "It operates on principles that break our understanding of physics. They can literally change what we see and detect." Meanwhile, Earth's Global Council received an unexpected message. Deep space sensors had detected unauthorized scans of their outer colonies, colonies the Empire didn't even know existed. General James ordered an immediate response. On a distant world 50 light-years from Earth, Imperial scouts discovered something shocking. A thriving human settlement, hidden beneath the surface of an ice moon. Before they could report back, Earth's defense systems activated. The entire moon seemed to vanish, along with any evidence it had ever existed. "How long have they been out here?" Emperor William demanded, slamming his fist on his throne's armrest. "How many worlds do they control?" The answer came from an unlikely source. Dr. Mary, the Empire's leading archaeologist, rushed into the emergency council meeting, clutching ancient star charts. "My Emperor, look at these. The patterns of unexplained sensor anomalies we've documented over centuries. They're all connected to Earth's quantum signature." Back on Earth, Dr. Smith led a delegation of Imperial scientists through one of humanity's quantum engineering facilities. It was time to reveal some truths. The visitors watched in amazement as engineers manipulated the fabric of space-time itself. "Your empire built its technology on mastering plasma and energy," Dr. Smith explained. "We took a different path. While you expanded outward, we expanded inward, discovering the quantum nature of reality itself." In a secure conference room, General James shared humanity's true history with Admiral Peter. "We detected your empire's expansion 1,000 years ago," he revealed. "We saw how you absorbed other civilizations, how you stripped them of their independence. We chose a different path." Holographic displays showed the real extent of human civilization. Dozens of hidden colonies, massive space stations phased out of normal space-time, and technology that made the Empire's greatest achievements look primitive. "All those times your ships surveyed Earth," General James continued, "you saw exactly what we wanted you to see. We built an entire false timeline of human development, making ourselves appear primitive while we quietly expanded among the stars." Admiral Peter's mind raced as he realized the implications. The Empire's entire strategy of technological superiority was based on incomplete information. General James finished. "Your empire thought it was the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. We let you believe that. In the Imperial Palace, Emperor William faced a harsh reality. His empire's power was built on the assumption that they possessed the most advanced technology in known space. That assumption had just been shattered. Dr. Smith activated one final demonstration for the Imperial scientists. A small quantum device, no larger than a hand, generated more power than an Imperial capital ship's main reactor. "This is basic technology for us," she explained. "Something our children learn about in school." The implications were staggering. Earth hadn't just hidden its current technology. It had concealed centuries of advancement. The Empire's greatest weapons and defenses were useless against quantum manipulation on this scale. As day turned to night on Capital World, Emperor William stood at his palace window, watching the stars. Somewhere out there, a civilization had grown and expanded right under the Empire's nose, using technology that made their greatest achievements look like children's toys. The Empire faced a choice: adapt to this new reality, or risk becoming obsolete in a galaxy that suddenly seemed much larger and more mysterious than they had ever imagined. Emperor William stood before his war council, his face set in grim determination. "Enough of these games," he declared. "Summon the Grand Fleet. We'll show Earth why 1,000 worlds bow before the Empire." Deep space sensors across Earth's hidden network detected the massive buildup of Imperial forces. 300 capital ships, 2,000 support vessels, and the Emperor's personal dreadnought, Imperial Might, gathered for the largest military operation in Imperial history. General James received the intelligence reports with surprising calmness. "They still don't understand," he said to Captain White. "They think quantity can overcome quantum superiority." In orbit around Mars, Earth's defense forces made final preparations. Dr. Smith activated the quantum matrix network, a web of interconnected fields stretching across the entire solar system. Hidden facilities on every planet hummed with power. The Imperial Grand Fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect battle formation. Emperor William, standing on the bridge of Imperial Might, allowed himself a small smile. "Let's see how Earth's parlor tricks handle the combined might of the Empire." The response came instantly, but not from where they expected. Across the galaxy, on every Imperial world, hidden Earth defense platforms suddenly activated. Quantum fields sprang to life around Imperial shipyards, military bases, and command centers. In a heartbeat, the Empire's entire military infrastructure was locked down. Admiral Peter, watching from the fleet's command ship, felt his blood run cold. "My Emperor, we're receiving reports. Earth's influence reaches far deeper than we imagined." On the Imperial capital, citizens watched in awe as massive structures materialized above their cities, Earth defense platforms that had been there for centuries, hidden in quantum phase space. The Empire's seat of power had been under Earth's guns all along. General James opened a channel to the Imperial fleet. Behind him, holographic displays showed real-time status of Earth's galaxy-wide defense network. "Emperor William, look around you. While your empire expanded through brute force, we expanded through stealth and strategy." Earth's quantum fields activated around the Grand Fleet. The mighty Imperial ships found themselves unable to move, their weapons powerless. But this time, Earth wasn't finished with just a demonstration. Massive gates opened in space itself as Earth revealed its true military power. Ships emerged from quantum storage, vessels that made Imperial dreadnoughts look like toys. They had been building and hiding them for centuries, preparing for this moment. "Impossible," Emperor William gasped. "No civilization could hide such a force." "We didn't just hide ships," General James replied. "We hid entire worlds." As if to prove his point, several planets across the galaxy phased into normal space. Human colony worlds that had existed out of phase with regular spacetime, completely undetectable to Imperial sensors. Dr. Smith, coordinating from Earth's Quantum Control Center, activated the final phase of their defense plan. The quantum matrix created a bubble of altered spacetime around the entire Imperial fleet. Inside this bubble, time moved differently. giving the Empire's leaders time to think about their situation. Captain White transmitted data to every ship in the Imperial fleet, evidence of Earth's quantum superiority, the true extent of human civilization, and most importantly, proof that humanity had possessed the power to destroy the Empire at any time, but had chosen not to. "We don't want war," General James explained to the stunned Emperor. "We never did. That's why we hid ourselves away. But if you force this confrontation, understand that your empire will not survive it." Emperor William, for the first time in his life, felt true fear. His mighty fleet hung helpless in space, surrounded by technology he couldn't comprehend. Earth's defense platforms held every Imperial world hostage. Centuries of assumed superiority crumbled in minutes. "The choice is yours," General James continued. "Continue this attack and watch your empire fall, or accept that some powers in this galaxy are beyond your control." In the silence that followed, Emperor William realized that everything had changed. The Empire's age of unchallenged dominance was over. Earth hadn't just developed advanced technology. They had fundamentally changed the balance of power in the galaxy. As the quantum bubble maintained its time dilation effect, the Emperor faced the hardest decision of his life. The Empire's future hung in the balance, and Earth held all the cards. News spread across the Empire like wildfire. On 1,000 worlds, citizens watched leaked footage of Earth's demonstration of power. Imperial propaganda networks tried to suppress the information, but quantum data streams bypassed their censors with ease. In the lower districts of Capital World, crowds gathered around public holo displays. They watched in amazement as recordings showed the mighty Imperial fleet hanging helpless before Earth's defenses. Whispers of change filled the streets. "The Empire isn't invincible after all," a merchant said to his customers. The words, once treasonous, now spread openly through the markets. On the industrial world of New Terra, factory workers stopped their production lines as the news reached them. The Empire's claim to technological supremacy had been a lie. Somewhere out there, humans from Earth had built a civilization far beyond Imperial standards. In the Imperial Senate, chaos erupted. Representatives from subjugated worlds stood up one by one, demanding answers. Senator John from the Outer Rim Systems addressed the chamber. "For centuries, we submitted to Imperial rule because we believed they represented the peak of civilization," he declared. "Now we know better. Earth has shown us that the Empire's power was built on ignorance." The first rebellion started on Mining World 6. Workers seized control of quantum communication arrays, broadcasting messages to other oppressed worlds. "Earth has proven the Empire can be resisted," their leaders announced. Emperor William watched helplessly as his authority crumbled. Reports flooded in from across Imperial space, rebellions, protests, and demands for independence. Worlds that had been forcibly integrated into the Empire now saw hope for freedom. General James monitored the situation from Earth's command center. "We didn't intend to start a revolution," he said to his staff, "but perhaps it was inevitable." Earth began receiving messages from worlds across the galaxy. Some begged for protection against Imperial retaliation. Others sought to learn the secrets of quantum technology. Many simply wanted to establish diplomatic relations with a power that had managed to outmaneuver the Empire. In response, Earth established the Free Systems Protocol. Any world that declared independence from the Empire would receive quantum shields to protect against retaliation. The offer sent shockwaves through Imperial space. Admiral Peter, once the Empire's proudest commander, now served as an emergency advisor to the Emperor. "We're losing systems by the hour," he reported. The Empire's authority depended on fear and perceived superiority. Earth destroyed both. On the agricultural world of Greenhaven, farmers cheered as Earth's quantum platforms appeared in their skies. The Imperial garrison, faced with technology they couldn't fight, surrendered without firing a shot. The Imperial palace became a center of frantic activity. Emperor William's advisors worked desperately to maintain control, but centuries of rigid imperial structure were collapsing. The Empire had never faced a challenge like this. Dr. Smith led a delegation of Earth scientists to the first Free Systems Conference. Representatives from 30 former Imperial worlds gathered to learn about quantum technology. "We won't give you our most advanced systems," she explained, "but we'll help you defend yourselves." The Empire's military began fracturing. Ship captains deserted with their crews, unwilling to fight for a losing cause. Some joined the growing Free Systems Alliance. Others simply disappeared into the vast unknown regions of space. In the Imperial Senate, reform-minded politicians gained power. They proposed a complete restructuring of the Empire. Less conquest, more cooperation. The old guard fought against the changes, but their influence waned with each passing day. Earth maintained its position of neutral power, refusing to directly govern other worlds. Instead, they offered protection and guidance, allowing each system to choose its own path. The Age of Empires is ending. General James announced in a galaxy-wide broadcast. Earth didn't hide from the galaxy out of fear. We hid because we saw the cycle of conquest and domination. Now we offer an alternative. As the day ended on Capital World, Emperor William stood in his private chamber, watching his empire transform. The change he had feared most had come to pass, not through war or conquest, but through the simple revelation that there were greater powers in the galaxy than the Empire had ever imagined. The political uprising had begun. There would be no turning back. The Great Hall of Earth's Global Council buzzed with activity as representatives from 300 former Imperial worlds gathered. 1 year had passed since Earth's revelation had shaken the galaxy, and now the time had come to formalize the new order. On the speaker's platform, General James addressed the assembly. The scene was being broadcast across the galaxy, even to worlds still under Imperial control. "Today, we established the Free Systems Alliance," he announced. "Not an empire, but a coalition of independent worlds." Emperor William's shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, the first time an Imperial ruler had ever visited another world as a supplicant rather than a conqueror. His journey symbolized the massive change in galactic politics. Dr. Smith led the Emperor's delegation through Earth's quantum shield. "Your empire once promised to bring civilization to the galaxy," she said. "Now you'll see what true civilization looks like." The streets of Earth's cities amazed the Imperial visitors. They saw technology integrated seamlessly with nature, transportation systems that defied physics, and people living in harmony with advanced quantum engineering. In orbit, the remnants of the once mighty Imperial fleet floated alongside Earth's defense platforms. Admiral Peter, now the Empire's chief diplomat, watched as his ships were dwarfed by the quantum vessels emerging from phase space. "The treaty is simple," General James explained to the gathered leaders. "The Empire will recognize the independence of any world that chooses to leave. Earth and the Free Systems Alliance will guarantee this freedom." Emperor William stood before the assembly, his voice carrying across the hall. "The Empire accepts these terms," he declared. "We have learned that true power lies not in conquest, but in cooperation." The signing ceremony began. One by one, world leaders approached the quantum-encrypted document. Each signature triggered a cascade of quantum shields activating around their home planets, ensuring their permanent protection. Dr. Smith unveiled humanity's gift to the galaxy, basic quantum technology that would free worlds from resource constraints. "This is not our most advanced science," she explained, "but it will help every world build a better future." In the Imperial Palace, reformers took control. The Empire would continue to exist, but as one power among many, not the dominant force in the galaxy. Centuries of expansion and conquest gave way to a new focus on internal development. Earth's hidden colonies finally revealed themselves fully. Quantum fields dropped around dozens of worlds, showing the true extent of human civilization. The galaxy marveled at cities built inside gas giants, stations that phased between dimensions, and technologies that seemed like magic. "Earth's isolation is over," General James announced, "but our principles remain. We will defend freedom, not enforce it. We will share knowledge, not impose it. The age of empires is ended. The Free Systems Alliance established its headquarters on a neutral world, with Earth serving as its protector, but not its ruler. Each member world maintained its independence while contributing to the common good. Admiral Peter watched the ceremonies end from orbit. We thought we were bringing order to the galaxy, he mused. Instead, we were holding it back. In the following weeks, Earth released more of its quantum technology. Transport ships began moving between stars in minutes instead of days. Communication became instantaneous across any distance. The galaxy entered a new age of prosperity. Emperor William's final act before departing Earth was to sign the Non-Aggression Treaty. The document, encrypted with quantum codes that could never be broken, ensured lasting peace between Earth, the free systems, and the reformed empire. As the Imperial shuttle lifted off, General James stood with Dr. Smith in the control center. "Do you think they finally understand?" she asked. "They understand that power isn't about controlling others," he replied. "It's about controlling yourself." The galaxy had changed forever. The Empire's dream of universal domination had been replaced by something greater. A coalition of free worlds, protected by Earth's quantum shield, each following its own path to the future. Above Earth, ships from 100 worlds moved through quantum gates, carrying diplomats, traders, and explorers. The planet that had hidden itself away for so long now stood as a beacon of hope. Proof that civilization could advance without conquest, that power could exist without domination. The new galactic order had begun, and the stars themselves seemed brighter for it.